And you can start from a seated position, cross-legged, and close the eyes. Just take a moment to ground yourself. And for everyone, that might mean something a little bit different. Maybe you have some tools for beginning to calm the mind in preparation for the practice. So I typically use the body as the best tool for settling in. And if not the body right off the bat, then your senses. With your eyes closed, you can experience a heightened sense of hearing. Notice any sounds outside of your space. Maybe birds outside the window or car tires on the road. Maybe someone talking in your house. Noticing sounds, but not creating a story around what you notice. Get a general sense for how your body feels. Places that you feel tight, where you're holding tension. Get a sense of your energy level, your state of mind. All of these are useful observations to make so that you know at the end of your practice, the way that the practice has impacted you. Use your mind's eye to visualize yourself sitting on the mat and sit a little bit taller. Create a tall spine. Lift from the crown of the head, lift from the highest points of the ears. Feel the sides of the neck lengthen. Visualize the structure of your bones. Sitting bones rooting down. Each vertebra stacking one on top of the next. Collarbones broadening. And from that structure, allow the muscles to soften around the bones. And notice your breath and start to breathe more deeply. Take your deepest breath in. Exhale your fullest breath out. Another deep breath in. And at the top of that inhale, suspend your breath. And exhale. Very bottom of your exhale, pause for 1 second. Then breathe in. Pause at the top. And breathe out. Inhale for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 4. Two more breaths like this. Inhale, sit tall, lift from the crown of the head, from the highest points of the ears. And as you exhale, drop the chin to the chest and round your spine. Pause. Feel that nice stretch along the back of the body. Across the back of the neck, the backs of the shoulders. And pull the chest through the gate of the arms. Inhale and lift your heart center. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Exhale as you round, shin to the chest, soften the belly back towards the spine. Inhale, lift your heart center, keep the lips closed. Exhale and round, chin to the chest. Last one here, breathe in. Exhale into spinal rotations, drawing the torso forward as you inhale and round back as you breathe out. Warming up the major joints and synchronizing the breath with movement. On your next inhale, change the direction. Allow your rotations to get smaller and smaller and smaller, circling back to center. Stack one vertebra on top of the next. Take an inhale. And at the top of that inhale, suspend your breath. And slowly, patiently, exhale, exhale, empty out the lungs, and allow the breath to find its natural rhythm. You can open the eyes, extend your legs straight ahead, and just walk your way forward over the legs. Don't worry too much about alignment here. Just look for a stretch along the back of the body. If you typically have a tight neck and shoulders, then you might allow your head to kind of hang out here. Find that stretch along the back of the neck. Curl your way up to center and plant the hands behind you with the fingers pointing towards the side walls. Roll your shoulders back and down, push into your hands, and lift the heart center. Face forward for a spinal twist. Back of the left hand, outer right leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, gently turn to your right. Lean slightly forward into that stretch. So you're sitting upright, and although the right hand is behind you for support, try to rely a little bit less on that hand and a little bit more on your core. So a tall spine, lift from the crown, draw the chin away from the chest. Take a deep breath in. Pause again, exhale for a deeper twist. and unwind back to center. Walk forward. Maybe you'll find that you can come just a little bit deeper into that forward fold. And start to pay a bit more attention now to alignment, rotating your thighs inwards towards each other. Kneecaps point straight up towards the ceiling. And walk up to center. A spinal twist facing left, left hand behind back of the right hand, outer leg. Move into it easy. You're kind of coming into this counter stretch, the opposite of what you've just done. So it takes a second for the body to adjust, and then you can work with going deeper into the twist. Your chin is off the chest. Engage your postural muscles. You're leaning just slightly forward. Lift from the crown, breathe in. Hold for the twist, exhale. And we'll take another deep breath in. And again, twist. Return to center. Walk forward over the legs, neutralizing the spine. Maybe you'll find again that you can come a little bit deeper into that stretch. Here, press your thighs downwards into the floor. Press the calf muscles down, press the heels down. Walk back up to center, recross your legs, but take the other shin in front. If your knees don't like to be crossed, have your legs straight out in front. Plant the right hand, take the left arm up and along the plane of the cheek. And gently press into the lower hand as you lift your gaze towards the ceiling. You're not just leaning to the right. Kind of create this crescent curve on the lower side of the body. So you're shortening that lower torso in order to feel an expansion along the left side, spreading the ribs apart. Inhale, come up to center, bring fingertips to the opposite ear, ear to the shoulder, and flex your right wrist. Play with the position of both the chin and maybe the right arm, just nice and slow, and see if you can find those special places that could use some attention. So you might drop the chin down slightly or draw it towards your inner left arm. For everyone, it might be a little bit different. And back up to center, a spinal twist again facing left with the right hand to your left knee. Tent your left fingertips behind you, so you're up on the fingertips. And imagine sliding your hand to the left. So you're kind of scrubbing the fingertips to the left to move deeper into that twist. With every inhale, create space. Exhale, scrub the hand gently towards the side of the mat. One more inhale, again, lengthen. Deepen your twist. Turn to face forward, keep the hand on the knee, stretch your left arm up and along the plane of the cheek again. As you're holding onto the knee, tug gently. Bring your gaze underneath the left arm. And inhale to come up. Plant your left hand, stretch the right arm up and along the plane of the cheek. Fan open your right rib cage. Again, you're sort of shortening that lower side rib cage. Squeeze your ribs in towards the midline of your body. And come up to center, bring the fingertips, the opposite ear, ear towards the shoulder, flex your left wrist. It's always interesting to observe whether one side, maybe the mousing or typing side, your dominant side, is tighter than the other. Maybe adjust the chin just nice and slowly, or you might pass over the areas that are really tight. So typically, the body doesn't want to go into heightened sensation. It's quite efficient like that, but on the mat, we're looking to find those places and stretch them out. Maybe it's moving the arm. And up to center for a spinal twist, face right, left hand comes to your right knee. Tug gently against the knee. Tent your right fingertips just by that right hip. Anchor your sitting bones down, lift from the crown, breathe in. Scrub the hand towards the side wall, breathe out. And for the next few breaths, notice whether or not you are emphasizing the twist in your lower back. If that's the case, bring more awareness to the shoulder blades. So it's a bit more of a rotation through the torso. And keep your hand on your knee. Turn to face forward. Stretch the right arm up. Bring it along the plane of the cheek. Reach through the fingertips. And you're holding onto that knee as an anchor as you take your gaze under the right arm. For it to be a proper anchor, you've also got to push your knee into your hand. So you're not lifting the knee up. The two sort of work together to stabilize. Still keeping the hand on the knee, come to center and bring opposite hand to knee if you can. Round your spine. Chin towards the chest, pull against the knees to feel that nice stretch across the upper back. And back to center. You can swing your legs to your side. Come on to hands and knees. Start to move through cat to cow. Inhale as you arch. Exhale and round. Inhale, lift the sitting bones. Exhale, round and pause. For the next 3 rounds, we'll compartmentalize or visualize that we are the spine. So as you inhale, lift your sitting bones. Pause there. Feel the curve in your lower back. Move towards the upper back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Pause there. Take the gaze forward. Take your shoulder blades down your back. Then lead, chin to the chest. Hold. Press your shoulder blades to the sky. Hold. That one's really difficult to do without engaging the lower back. Then move into the lower back, scoop the tailbone under, pull the belly to the spine. So move through without pausing. Sitting bones, mid back, upper back, gaze forward, chin to chest, shoulder blades to the sky, navel to the spine, scoop the tailbone under. Again, inhale. Follow your own rhythm. Use the mind's eye to notice the different sections of the spine. Exhale. And one last time without me talking. Sink back towards your heels, child's pose. Walk the fingertips forward towards the top of the mat. Bring the hands close together. Thumb tips touch. Soften your outer shoulders down and reach the crown of the head towards the thumbs. Walk the hands closer together, bring the palms of the hands together. Slide the palms of the hands forward. Try and bring the baby finger sides of the hands together also, and then press the baby finger sides of your hands downwards into the mat. Walk your hands to your knees, come to the back of the mat and fold over your legs. Knees soft, chin to chest, crown of the head towards the floor. Interlace your hands at the base of your neck, stretch out the back of the neck. Then take opposite hand to elbow, rock gently from side to side. And return to neutral. Release your arms. Curl your way up one vertebra at a time. Visualize stacking the vertebrae. Reach your arms all the way up overhead. Interlace your fingers except for the index. Take your index fingers towards your shoulder blades. Press the back of the head into the arms. Lift your heart center. Sort of try to squeeze the arms in towards the head or the ears, looking for a stretch around the triceps. And back up to neutral. Stretch your arms overhead and hinge to the left. Create that same sort of squeezing sensation on the lower side of the rib cage. Lift your gaze towards the ceiling. Tug gently on the upper arm. Inhale up through center. Exhale, hinge over to the right. Squeezing the lower ribs in. Fan your left rib cage open. Inhale to center. Bring your hands to your heart center and step the right foot forward. Both heels are planted. Fold forward over the front leg. Slide the hands down the front leg as far as they will go. Maybe the fingertips meet the floor. Release the crown of the head down. On your next inhale, lift halfway up. Pause. Take another inhale, reach the crown of the head forward, slide your hips back, and exhale, fold once again, maybe coming a little bit deeper into that stretch. Take your hands to your hips, press into your feet, inhale, come on up, and step your left foot forward, back to center. Interlace your hands, soften your knees, reach the knuckles of the hands forward, spread the shoulder blades apart. Send your tailbone towards the floor. And bring your gaze forward, rotate your palms forward. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Lengthen along the back of the body, send your tailbone down. And bring your hands back to the heart center. Step your left foot forward. Fold over the front leg. Slide the hands as far down the leg as they'll go, maybe to the floor. If not, just keep them on that front shin. Lengthen through the back of the neck. You might nod your head yes and no. Really see that you are not engaging the neck muscles to hold your head up.
You want to look all the way towards the left knee or even towards the inner thighs. With your next inhale, lift halfway up, hands to the floor or on the front shin. Another inhale, re-lengthens the spine, crown reaches forward, draw your hips back. Exhale again, fold over the leg. And hands come to your hips. Press into your feet. Take an inhale. Come on up. And step the right foot forward. Bend your knees. Take the hands to the knees. Send your tailbone towards the floor. Cat-cow in chair pose. Inhale. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your heart center. Exhale, round, navel to the spine. Send your tailbone down. Inhale, arching gently, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale as you round, chin to the chest. Last one, breathe in. Exhale. Fold over the legs with your legs straight. Interlace your hands behind you. Lift your arms up off your back. Shift the arms gently from side to side. Move into the shoulders. And once you come to center, reach the knuckles of your hands towards the ceiling. So draw the shoulders as far away from the ears as you can. Press into your feet, take an inhale, come on up. Slide your hips forward, just a baby back bend as you exhale. And come to center. Step to the top of the mat. Bring the hands to the heart center. Right foot steps back for warrior B. So you're taking a big step back, turn to face the long edge of the mat, outstretch the arms. And bend as deeply into that front knee as you like, depending on how hard you want to work tonight. Bring your left arm across your chest, slide the right arm underneath, and stretch out your left shoulder. Keep softening the left shoulder down away from the ear. You'll notice a tendency to start turning towards the left leg, but if you can, keep the right shoulder blade, and the right hip moving back. So it helps to look towards the long edge of the mat instead of to the left, which is the classic version, but we tend to move in the direction that we're looking. So in this case, forward is better. Release your left arm, take the right hand down the back leg, turn your left palm to the sky, stretch towards the ceiling. And slowly straighten your left leg. Keep sending your hips forward towards the top of the mat. Keep sliding the right hand down. Inhale back up and reach to your left, triangle pose. Right arm comes up. When done properly, this is a stretch for your inner thigh muscles as much as it is the hamstrings. If you're not feeling that little tug along the inner thigh or more, then look at the front kneecap and turn the kneecap firmly towards your second toe. Lengthen the torso as though you want the crown of the head to move beyond the toes.
And press into your feet. Take an inhale. Come on up. Exhale, hands to the hips. And pivot the toes forward so that all 10 toes face the long edge of the mat. Shorten your stance a bit. Draw the elbows towards each other. Take an inhale. Lift your heart center. Pause here. With the hands on the hips, use your middle fingers. Slide the front hip bones up towards your ribs. Send the tailbone down towards the floor. So you want your tailbone to keep coming forward, not hanging back. And come up through center. Hinge forward. And slide the hands down the legs. Release the crown of the head towards the floor. Anytime you feel that you might be gripping your neck or jaw, feel free to nod the head. Just kind of let that tension go. Walk your hands over to the left leg and draw the forehead in the direction of your shin. Shift a little bit of weight into the toes so that you feel you're pressing evenly from heel to toe. Walk your hands over to the right leg, forehead towards the shin. Rock a little bit of weight into the toes and then press your thighs back. Lower your hands to the mat and pivot to face the top of your mat. Come onto the ball of your back foot. Take the right knee down. Walk the right foot back as far as you can. Lean the torso forward into the stretch. So you're starting with the front knee aligned over the ankle approximately. You're on the right knee. You've walked that foot back as far as you can. You could have the toes turned under or be on the top of the foot. It doesn't matter. Let your left knee slide forward as though it's pulling the body forward towards the top of the mat, as though the knee would move beyond the toes. And you kind of drag the skin of the right knee forward. Now, that's pretty detailed. So if any of those cues or directions resonated, then even sticking with the one is good. Pick your right knee up. Step your right foot in. Pivot your heel to the floor. And again, fold forward over that left leg. Lift halfway up, breathe in, pause for the exhale. Next inhale, reach the crown of the head forward, send your hips back. Exhale and fold for 2 more breaths. Take your hands to your hips, press into your feet. Inhale, come on up, and step to the top of the mat. Reach the arms up, inhale, interlace your fingers except for the index. Take the index fingers towards your shoulder blades. Press the back of the head into the arms, lift your heart center, slide your hips forward. And inhale back up to center. Arms reach up with your right hand, take your left wrist, hinge to the right. Inhale back to center. Left hand, right wrist, hinge over to your left. Inhale, center. Take the hands to the heart center. Come back to the top of the mat if you're not already there. And we'll change sides. Step your left foot back, a nice big step back. Virabhadrasana B. Outstretch the arms, bend into the front knee, and adjust your feet. The back hip, your left one tends to lean left while the torso leans to the right. Try and do the opposite. Lean the torso back and pull your left hip forward towards the top of the mat. Right arm comes across your chest, left arm underneath, stretch out the shoulder. Drop the right shoulder down away from the ear and try to keep your left shoulder, left hip moving towards the back of the mat or the long edge of the mat. And release your right arm. Take your left hand down the back leg. Turn your right palm to the sky. Inhale, reach for the ceiling. Exhale, slide the hand down the leg. And with some balance, slowly straighten out your right leg. Resend the hips forward. Fan open the right rib cage. And inhale up through center. Reach to your right. Lengthen as far forward as you can. Trikonasana. Drop the right hand down. Stretch your left arm up. See if you can feel that little tug on the inside of the right leg. And if not, look at the kneecap, moving in the direction of your second toe. And with your next inhale, come on up. Hands come to the hips, turn all 10 toes to the long edge of the mat. Step your feet in a little bit closer, not too much, and fold. Give yourself a hug. Walk the fingertips towards the shoulder blades. Draw the shoulder blades apart. And if your fingertips don't find the shoulder blades, which is likely the most common thing, then they're still drawing the shoulder blades away from the spine just by tugging against the shoulders. Release the arms, take your right hand to the floor. Reach your left arm up. Look towards the left arm. Lower the left hand down and reach the right arm up. Look towards the right arm. Lower the right hand down, fold forward once again. Give yourself a hug, but take the opposite elbow on top. And release the head towards the floor. And take your hands to your hips. Press into your feet with an inhale. Come on up. Pivot to face the short edge of the mat. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Bend your front knee and take the knee down to the floor. Slide the left foot back as far as you can.
Bend the front knee first over the ankle and then let that front knee slide forward like you want it to move beyond the toes. Allow it to pull the torso forward until you feel like you're slightly rolling on top of the left kneecap, whether you have the toes under or not. Keep a nice long spine so we're not lifting upwards. With the spine, you're leaning forward to focus on a stretched top of your left thigh. Then turn your back toes under, pick the knee up off the mat, step the back foot in, plant the heel, fold over that front leg, moving into Parsvottanasana. Once again, to see if you can find any deeper of a stretch in through the hamstrings, but also along the whole length of the spine. Take an inhale, lift halfway up. Pause for the exhale. Lengthen on your inhale, crown of the head forward. And for the last time, exhale, hinging at the hips. Inhale and come on up, push into your feet. Step to the top of the mat and we'll make our way to the floor. Arms up overhead, inhale. Take your hands down through your heart center, soften your knees, exhale, fold over the legs. Interlace your hands behind you, take the awkward interlacing and lift your arms up. Shift the arms gently from side to side. And if the hamstrings are receptive, go ahead, straighten out the legs. Lower your hands down, step back, downward facing dog. If you're not in the mood for a downward dog, you could be in child's pose if you like, but we're here for 5 deep breaths. Discipline the mind to focus. Using the body. Take your awareness to your fingertips, anchoring down. Forearms squeezing in. Upper back broadens. Outer hips lift up. Heels soften down so you feel a nice long stretch through the hamstrings. And take your knees to the mat. Walk the hands out over to the right. Send your hips back towards your left heel. And shift forward. Walk your hands over to the left. Send the hips back towards the right heel. And shift forward as you walk your hands through center. Swing your legs to the side. Take them straight out in front. And bring your left foot to the inner right thigh. Janu Shirshasana, walk forward over the right leg. On your next inhale, lift halfway up. Visualize what that is anyway. Sit tall. Exhale, reach the torso forward and fold. Press the right leg down. Squeeze the left knee down. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Come back up through center. And bring the right leg out to the side. Take your left foot back to the inner thigh and fold. Rotate your right toes towards the ceiling and press the heel down. Walk the torso all the way over towards your right leg. Fold over that leg. And keeping your right hand down, extend the left arm along the plane of the cheek as you turn to face forward. Reaching out through the fingertips. And inhale, come on up. Take your left leg out to the side and walk forward. Stretch the inner thigh muscles. And come back to center. Use your hands. Guide the legs together. Right foot, inner left thigh. Walk forward over the leg. 1 or 2 breaths here. And then lift and lengthen the spine, inhale. Reach forward and fold as you exhale. Try to press that left heel forward. As much length as you can comfortably find. And up through center. Take that leg out nice and wide. Reconnect foot to the inner thigh. And again, come forward. Walk your torso towards the left leg. Crown of the head towards the top of the foot while still drawing the right knee down towards the mat. And keep your left hand down as you turn to face forward. Stretch the right arm up and along the plane of the cheek. Fan open the rib cage.
And press into your lower hand, engage your abdominals. Come on back up. Bend your left knee and take the soles of the feet together, but you can have your heels forward enough that there's a diamond shape between the legs. Come on forward, Baddha Konasana. Let yourself relax into this stretch. Maybe you release the weight of the head again. Maybe the arms help to guide the knees towards the floor. Most importantly, breathe deeply. Inhale for 4. And exhale for a count of 4. Come on up to center. Use your hands to guide the knees together. Wrap the left arm around the leg. Take your right hand behind. A nice easy spinal twist. And back to center. Right arm wraps. Left hand behind. Back to center. Wrap both arms around the legs. Draw the chin towards the chest. Give yourself a nice, good squeeze. And release the hands down. Come to the top of the mat. Bring the arms alongside you. Soften the chin down and curl down one vertebra at a time. Send the tailbone towards the heels. Try to scoop the tailbone under to engage the abdominals. And as you come all the way down, bring the right knee into the chest. Extend your left leg out long. Interlace your hands behind the legs, sole of the foot to the sky. Pull your toes towards your nose, press your heel towards the ceiling, and attempt to hide the heel behind your toes. There's a little internal rotation there. So you don't have the foot pointing out to the right, but rotating slightly inwards, heel hiding behind the toes, kneecap tracking the second toe. And bend your right knee, reach your right arm out. Use the left hand, move into a spinal twist to the left. Try to feel your right shoulder sinking down towards the mat. So it will lift up naturally with the weight of the right knee moving left. But you'll find a bit more opening front of the shoulder. If you can still widen the collarbones and let the right shoulder release down. Return to center. Press into your right foot, shift your hips slightly left. Hug the left knee into the chest, interlace your hands around the leg. Slide the right leg forward. Interlace your hands behind the left leg, sole of the foot to the sky. And try to squeeze the heel behind the toes. And bend your left knee. Reach your left arm out. Use the right hand to guide the knee over to the right. Allow yourself to sink into that spinal twist.
And then just take some awareness to the weight of your left shoulder. Soften it down towards the mat. And come to center. Press into your left foot, shift your hips slightly to the right so you're evenly aligned on the mat. Draw the legs into the chest, wrap your arms around your legs, and without rocking, squeeze your spine down towards the floor. Send the tailbone forward, just kind of neutralizing the spine by pressing it downwards into the mat. And bring your feet to the floor and walk them both forward. Separate your feet as wide as feels comfortable. You could take them as wide as mat width distance apart if you wanted. Rotate your palms to face up. Tuck your shoulder blades down your back. And when you close your eyes, draw your upper lid to the lower one and the gaze towards the heart center. And you might even try that again. Upper lid softens down to the lower one, and your gaze drops down towards your heart center. Visualize your body lying on the mat and allow the full weight of the body to sink into the floor. Feel the earth rising up to support the weight of the body. Soften those places that you know tend to get tight, areas that hold tension or stress. Relax the hands and the feet. Allow the brain to recede and the eyes to sink deep into their sockets. Unhinge the jaw. And take a moment to get an overall sense of how your body feels after an hour of yoga. How you feel mentally, energetically. And just settle in and give yourself the permission to be fully present, connected with the next 8 to 10 breaths. You don't have to change your breath. Allow it to settle into its own rhythm. Then let your mind rest on the journey of the breath. And without moving the body, just notice your breath.
And start to breathe more deeply. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Rotate the wrists and ankles a couple of times in both directions. Inhale through the nose. Extend the arms overhead, lengthen the spine, point the toes, and through the mouth, exhale. Bring the knees to the chest, rock and roll forward and back and side to side. And find your way back to a seated cross-legged position. Eyes closed. Hands to the heart center. Sealing our practice with the sound of Om. Take a conscious breath in. Om. Namaste. Thank you for coming.